Dave Robinson with plantcovercrops.com, along with Steve Houghton from the Cisco Companies, and we're doing some digging here, and a mixture is called the Crimson Coverall Mix. It's a mixture of crimson clover along with radishes. This is really exciting to see the roots here on the crimson clover. Again, we're very sandy soil here in Newton County, northwestern Indiana. But look, we've got such fibrous root mass here already, and we've got good nodulation going on as well. It's pretty amazing with as little rainfall as we've had of what kind of nodulation that we have. Our earthworms are very deep this year. Normally when we're digging this, we're going to find earthworms galore. I guess that's a good agronomic term. Just a considerable number of earthworms, and frankly we've not found an earthworm in these plots at all yet, just because it's so dry. But look at the fibrous root mass. This is one thing that gets us excited about the crimson clover, is the fact that we really have that root mass. Steve, you've seen this on other farms as well.
Yeah,
what have you seen?
This really is an amazing plant. A lot of people think of clover and they think about that main major tap root and then some secondary roots off that, but this is a very, very fibrous root structure. And if you look at all, we're not really doing it credit showing it to you right there. Look at all the white root mass that we're leaving in the soil, and I'm telling you, that's about as dry as it gets. And we're still able to penetrate, I'd say, about the top 8 inches of soil with a white mass of roots. Normally you'll have a lot of earthworm activity throughout these roots, and you can see the little nodules coming up there. If we weren't under such drought stress, I think we'd have a lot more nitrogen fixation than what's going on. But it's really an amazing crop. We've also seen it grow through a lot tighter soils than this. This is, quite a bit of sand in this profile, and in even hard-packed clay, we still see this fibrous root structure develop. It'll be interesting to see. We're at October 12th, and if we get a couple rains, we're curious to see how much more growth we'll get under lower temperatures. And of course, this crop will overwinter, and we'll get another spring flush. So to give this true credit, we'll need to come back late March, early April, and take another look at it.
Steve, we've got some radishes out here along with it, just even right here, right beside where the crimson is. The one thing that we've noticed is the radishes really perform well with the crimson clover. Again, here as we look at this crimson, just the amount of nodulation that's going on here.
There's that root I've been cutting off
go.
all day.
Yep.
I mean, there's several of those branching off the main tuber.
Steve, there's some folks that are claiming that that's not necessarily a good thing. We take a little different approach to that. What's your thought process here?
Well, if you went through every single radish, we don't have, this is not a hybrid. Every plant isn't the same. So you'll see some that are longer and thinner and penetrate the soil profile more. You'll see some that are bigger and fatter. So with the groundhog, we have quite a bit of diversity in plant type, and we think the bigger ones are doing their job because they are gathering the nitrogen, the free nitrate that's in the soil. They're gathering it in this tuber. And then we also have plants that are going to grow longer and penetrate, give us a little bit better soil percolation for water uptake next summer. When it rains, we want the water to go down, not off, and this plant's going to help that. So we're not sure, what's right, but fortunately with groundhog, we have a diversity of plants. They're not all exactly the same.
At the same time, one thing we don't see out of here that we oftentimes see in the VNS radish is that we're seeing consistency in the fact that even though not every tuber is identical, we're not seeing a lot of heading out. Probably, well, we got one plant over here that's headed out and another one up there where Mark is. But the reality is that we're seeing consistency in the fact that we're not getting a bunch of headed out radish like we saw in the VNS, which actually was heading out 3 or 4 weeks ago. So again, this is again, not every single radish is going to be the same, but we've got good penetration. Each of these radishes are probably in the ground 8 or 10 inches, and then that doesn't count for what we've torn off at the end. So this is something that, like we say, we really like this mixture, and the fact that we've got crimson clover producing considerable amount of nitrogen, and then these radishes, which are nutrient storage vessels that are holding on to that nitrogen, going to make it available for next year's crop. So for Dave Robinson for PlantCoverCrops.com, along with Steve Houghton with Cisco Companies, looking at Invest Cover Crops.